What up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Southeast Washington, D.C. is where I was born. Me, I'm Gregory Dyson, the owner of this channel that last swapped in a wheelchair. These are me when I was younger. And this, which y'all about to see, is my untold story about how I got in the wheelchair in a few days before everything went down. Check it out, part one. What up, YouTube? Before I get started, I just want to say, I really ain't have to um, tell people, this part of my story. Because, I mean, I really didn't have to, but I feel like my channel should know, you know, how I got in the wheelchair. I tell people all the time, I was in a car crash, this, then the third, or whatever. But my story about me in this wheelchair, it's a little bit more deeper, and I want everybody to know, what type of person, I am. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of background about me. I'm not gonna use, no family member names or nothing like that, because I didn't get nobody consent or nothing. And my pictures that's before this, a few of them are chopped because I don't want to put people, pictures up and different things of that sort. But um, I got in my car crash, June 27th, 2007. Almost 30 days after my um 21st birthday. So it, honestly, I didn't have time to really grieve about it. For some people grieve and they go through depression and things like that for a long period of time. But I didn't have a long period of time to really grieve and try to adjust. Um, it was hard, man. Honestly, it was hard being that young, having been in a car crash and losing your ability to walk. It was hard, man. It was hard. Excuse me for not looking at the camera also because I'm playing the game while I'm doing this because it kind of like keep me from getting, I guess, too emotional because being in my state, I still go through emotional times. I still get depressed. I still get frustrated about my situation because I mean it's still hard. I'm gonna have to go through this for the rest of my life, but it's still hard. But anyways, um, I didn't have a lot of time to grieve because when the accident happened, I was on parole and it was a violation to my parole because I wasn't supposed to be driving. So a few months after I got out the hospital and was healed up, I had to go to prison for 2 years. So fresh out of the hospital, having to go to a federal prison to do a 2 year sentence for a parole violation. Um, it was difficult, man. It was difficult. It was difficult going into it because I turned myself in, and that ride going to DC jail, it was a ride I'll never forget because I knew I was going to jail for a while. I just didn't know how long at the time. I was in DC jail for maybe a month before they sent me to um, Philadelphia, PA, to see the parole board. And I stayed in Philadelphia, PA for almost a year before they told me what they was going to do with me. and they just basically told me, the time that you're supposed to did on parole, we're just going to give you the 2 years in prison, and you go home, no parole, scot free. I mean, by that time, I was already in prison for a year, and it was just like, okay, it is what it is. It ain't nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can say. But going to DC jail, all through my mind, it was just like, you got to go in here with your game face on. You hurt, you broken, you stressed out, you depressed. Like, you can't go in here and let people see you like that. People will take advantage of seeing you down and out. People will take advantage of you being broken. And me, when that happened, I was shattered. I felt like life would never be the same. I was shattered. I was having women issues. Well, I'm not even gonna say women. I was having one woman issue, and like it destroyed me, honestly. I thought I was gonna come out, the hospital, and you know, just deal with me not being able to walk. But I came out, to drama. I came out of the hospital to drama. Then it's like, like I felt like everybody was against me. I felt like, people that wasn't against me before was against me now. So I kind of, I'm not gonna say I messed things up for myself, but people, was showing their true colors actually. And for the people that, remain the same and stayed in my corner all the time and still in my corner right now, I really appreciate them people. Like, seriously. I really appreciate them people, and I consider them as family. Also, the really good people I've met and grown to along the way. They didn't judge me from, just being in the chair. But coming out the hospital, a woman that I really had something for, you know, just couldn't deal with the fact that I was never gonna walk again, or it was a possibility I was never gonna walk again, because didn't nobody know. I had a a T12 incomplete injury. So incomplete mean that the spine wasn't completely severed. So the spine wasn't completely cut, and I had real bad nerve damage. I had a crushed vertebrae and a crushed disc, and it's a T12 injury. So it was a lot, man. It was a lot. Like, people was looking at me funny. They was acting funny towards me. You know, it was it was a lot of BS, and I just I was just going through a whole lot. I was suicidal. It was many a nights. I wanted to squeeze the trigger, and I've never told nobody. Like, I was sitting in the dock with the gun to my head, you know, finger on the trigger, ready to end it all when it first happened. Because it's like I'm 21. I just turned 21. I'm going through a lot of things outside of you know normal. I'm a young guy. I'm running the streets. I'm doing things I ain't got no business doing. I'm trying to stop and get out of the street life, and it was like every time I tried to get out, something pulled me back in. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm trying to do better. I wanted to do better in life, because I just felt like, it was just too much going on. I was getting tired. I was getting tired of everything, and I just couldn't get right. I just felt like I couldn't get right. So when the accident happened, I remember vividly, you know, my brother. My brother on my mother's side, the male figure I had growing up. I looked at like a dad, because my dad passed away from lung cancer when I was really young. But And I remember telling them like, like man, I'm done. Let me go. It was just a lot going on. I wasn't trying to deal with. Before the accident, it was just a lot going on. I was tired of running. I was tired of fighting. Like I was tired of everything. Just let me go. I feel like I'd have seen everything already. I'd have had enough. Just let me be at peace. But a higher power had a different plan for me, and I'm honestly, I'm blessed. I'm seriously blessed. Seriously, because my family told me, the doctor came out there and told them, I think you should start making funeral plans because we don't think he's gonna make it. And being the youngest out of my siblings, I don't know how that made them feel. And my brother that I'm the closest to, I'm his only brother, and I'm the youngest. So I mean, I can believe that that was kind of hard on them, and like for a long time, it was just like, I was just had all type of thoughts. I just, I felt like, well, it's not. I felt like I took, I took it on the chin. It was everything was my fault. As I grew and I looked at my situation, it was just like, you got to take it for what it is. It's your fault. You know, it came down to, if I wouldn't have been in the streets doing what I was doing that night, I wouldn't have been where I was at that morning to be in the accident. So, in a way, it's my fault. I know right from wrong. But I grew up in a place where, you gonna eat or you gonna starve. Ain't nobody giving you nothing for free. And I had siblings that looked out for me, but at the same time, I felt like I was a burden on my siblings. My siblings were starting to have children of their own, and I just didn't want to, come in between of my siblings and their children, or I felt like, I was taking food out of my nephews and nieces' mouths. So I, took what I knew. I got up and I went and got my own money. How I got it. But that day, it like I woke up. Um, the house I was at a girl house with a buddy, a close friend of mine. I still look at him like a little brother to this day. Um, we was at a girl house. They was getting the cable. They was getting cable installed in the house that morning, and they was drilling through the walls and stuff like that. And I was in the house sleep, and they drilling through the walls. It's just loud. And I'm just like, all right, listen. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go back to sleep for a little while, then I'm gonna come back. He just like, she like, nah, they about to leave, they almost done, you can stay asleep. I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna go. And I really appreciate the woman, she was trying to get me to stay and go back to sleep because they was almost done. But I was just like, man, I need to go take a shower and this and that. It's hot outside. Um, so I mean I wish I would have stayed, but you know. But anyways, she tried to get me to stay, that happened. They were the last people to see me before I got into the accident. Like I literally got down the street from the apartment complex, and then boom, life changed forever. Life changed forever. And from what I was told, he took it hard because me and him just left. He don't know if I'm dead or I'm alive. From what they were saying, like people on the scene was just like, I was, I was dead or whatever. Um, but he didn't know. you know, and it was just a crazy experience from that to the time I woke up and people explained to me what happened and what went on and all these other different things, and me knowing that I was in a car. Like, I remember I'm driving down the road and I'm coming up to this light, and it's a big U-Haul truck sitting at the light. The lights are red. Like, I'm probably about, I'm probably about, we gonna say, I'm gonna say about 50 yards. So I'm about 50 yards from the light, and I'm slowing down. I'm getting on the brake, slowing down, and I get about 30 yards from the light, and it turns green. So I'm like, okay, it's green. I completely let off the brake. You know what I'm saying? I completely let off the brake, thinking I'm going, just coast through this light because I'm coming up to where my turn is. Thinking I'm going to coast through this light, and I get hit. Didn't even see the other car because it was a big box U-Haul truck blocking the view of me seeing anything to the left of me. Once I got up close enough on that U-Haul, I couldn't see nothing. And from where I was at behind him, I couldn't see nothing that was on the other side of the U-Haul. So I'm guessing the guy tried to hurry up and jump in front of the U-Haul and turn. But he didn't see me either. We didn't see each other. And he smacked me. My car slid sideways and went straight into the light pole. It went straight into this little small, well, it wasn't small, but it was like a narrow metal light pole. It wasn't the wooden, it was the metal light pole. I hit it. I hit that, and like instantly, it was like as soon as I hit it and I like gained conscience, and I try to get myself out of the car, like I'm trying to lean over to push the door, and I just feel my whole body hurts. My whole body hurts, and I couldn't feel, like, right then and there. I could not feel my legs at all. Right then and there, I could not feel my legs at all. But that's the end of part one. Um, Stay tuned for part two.